And now we're after the live. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you tuning in. I want to go over some XRP technical analysis before we get into today's daily close. I came on a little bit earlier than 6:30 because, as you know, sometimes this time of the year it's a little busy with the kids' school stuff. We have certain requirements that we have to do certain days. And I think at 7 o'clock I have to be somewhere. So I had to come on now and be done by like 6:30, 6:40 area just to be safe. I'm not sure what just happened just now, why it went back to that screen. But hopefully this is, okay, good. Messi, welcome in. Thank you so much for tuning into the live. I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to timestamp this real quick and then we're going to get on with it. And whoever tunes in. And we'll have an open and active discussion as always. And I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. It does mean the world to me to have each and every one of you here day by day. Eddie, welcome in. Oh, Johnson, David Kennedy, good evening. Robbie Sosa, good evening, and thank you for tuning in. And welcome to month one, or thanks for joining Tom's Army for month one. I know that's you being in month one because you have me being abducted by aliens in month one. Yes, that's my face superimposed. CJ2 Pilot, welcome in. Thank you so much for being in month two of Tom's Army. That's the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. Taki, welcome in. MR, Chris, good evening. Puentes, welcome in. MR, welcome in from Switzerland. Yes, you made it on time, Puentes. Good evening, Cleo. JW, welcome in. I always appreciate you checking, and I hope you're having a blessed evening. Mo, good evening. Everyone support and appreciate Tom's work. Hit the like button. I appreciate that. Yes, please make sure to hit that like button. I'm outside today. I wanted to do an update outside. It is 26 degrees outside right now, so it is not very warm. I mean, of course, you could see, like, if I show you, you could see how it's more like a cold, but I still wanted to do one of these outside while I felt like it was a good day to do it. So I greatly appreciate all of you. You have no idea how much it means to me to have you in the audience. So good evening. 6:04 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Tuesday, November 28th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. But you know, 28 or 26 degrees right now. Actually, what is it? It's like 28, I think. It's definitely not 21. It's like 28, I want to say. 27. Cut it in the middle. So even being 27 right now, it's not that bad. If it was 27 degrees a few weeks ago, I wouldn't even been out here. But now I'm used to it. I'm in Michigan, you know, and as the seasons change, this isn't bad. We get more towards the negative is when it gets interesting. So right now with XRP, I had a question about 53 cents. The main thing to watch right now is 53 cents could happen. It absolutely could, but you would have to validate this Deathcross in the 4-hourly, which we're actively trying to invalidate before it even comes through. So in order to invalidate that Deathcross now, you have to come up, not only break over the top here, but we've got to get over that 63 cent. It's actually 633 in this area, and then break up to the top of the rising channel from 2018. I know I changed this up a little bit because we do have the descending channel, but this is the breakout of the descending channel. This is the top side of it where we're at. And as long as it continues this on, we created another channel once we got into here. After we consolidated out of the descending channel, this is what happened with the sideways consolidation. It went on too long to just have the old descending structure be valid. I mean, it's valid, but to be in play now. It's already consolidated too far sideways, so we have to stay on top of it. So what could be happening is this inverted head and shoulders. If it bounces out of here, it's going to be a beautifully uptick. A nice, beautiful uptick for end of year. The one thing is, if we fall and you ever see us lose this 598, we're going to rotate back down. And that's around 56 cents. You lose that 52.5. It's just, there's no way around it. So right now, if we lose this uptrending support right now, which, like I said, you can't afford to lose this area, this 597, we'll call it on the over. Otherwise, you come down to 56. So if you see something like this, that means the Deathcross played out and you're coming down here at minimum. And that would put you down to that 56 cent area. So I don't want anybody to be tricked. I want everybody to see exactly what's coming out in front of them. And that's what's starting to transpire here. But I like to stay up to date day after day on these pattern formations. So I'll update them as needed I had to come outside the descending channel only because if you look at it, the way that it's set up now, and I can certainly put it back in here so that I can show you what I mean. I didn't do it in the 4 hourly. See, it's so far outside of it. It's so far outside of it now. Even if you come into the daily, I mean, you're coming way down here. When you start to do it, the 4 hourly would be easier to show you what I mean, but it comes outside of it. It really does. So if you were to have a breakdown now, it's not going to be appropriate to just say, oh, it's going to be that channel that causes it. Because what are you going to do? Is it a broadening wedge maybe or something that's starting to form over here? But if you did, this would insinuate if you keep this descending channel the support and you don't upgrade the pattern that you're going to have to come down and it'll just meet at 52. But that's technically incorrect because it's formed this, what one could say is a bear flag right here. Now see, that's the other thing that kind of kicked us in the old nether regions. And I'm not talking Minecraft. You know, and that is what most want it to do. What if this is a bear flag now and it breaks down because of that topside liquidity? That's where it becomes dangerous. Does anybody see what I'm talking about? Whoops. Because now this could technically be used as a bear flag if it doesn't break out. That's why it's so important for this to continue on and push out and get out of here. We do not want to take this bottom route. If you take the bottom route, it becomes very, very dangerous. Am I making sense? Because I know I updated this, but does this make sense? Absolutely, Chris. Absolutely. And that's why they needed that fake news. Exactly. See, Chris knows. That's why they needed that fake news so that they could grab that topside liquidity. And as they filled out those orders, like you said, it's the easy way for institutions or for the bigger players to play both sides. So they might have bought way down here, institutions, and then they shorted up here to get back to the median. It's possible. They could have even bought here, shorted here, come here, and go for blast off. And it would make perfect sense why they had, or back to the 2020 uptrend, it would make perfect sense why they had that style event. So I pointed to that wick right there. And when we were in the descending channel, when it broke out, I said the charts are telling us this is a fake out. And it sure as hell was. But now we're going to try to invalidate that. But the problem is, if we don't come out of here, and this is a fake J-hook, as I like to call them, we'll very quickly come down to 56 cents. If we break down out of here, that's how you lose the end of year rally. If you want an end of year rally going into 2024, you got to get on top side of this falling channel that we're in. Could be looked at a bear flag after a double top here with that quick wick up. I'm just saying. So we have to be open to everything that's here. 71 people watching, 31 likes. Please make sure to hit that like button. We have not very good ratio right now. Please hit that like button. If you don't want to hit the like button and you don't, or maybe my information is just not good enough, so I guess that's something. But if you don't want to hit the like button, you can always send a YouTube super chat. You can always join Tom's Army if you want to pay it forward. After all, I think me standing out in 26 degrees is enough for a like, so you can see my environment. You'll just be like, go inside. Well, sometimes it's not that simple when people are getting ready for stuff. So sometimes in order for me to be here, I got to stand out in the cold, you know? But I'll do it for each and every one of you. Sully, welcome in. JW, thank you for that. Chris, I appreciate that. The clarification. Jose, good evening. Watch, recycle, repeat. Indeed, watch the content, recycle it to friends and family, and come back and watch the next update. I love it. I love it. So that's what I'm really seeing with XRP. I mean, I really am. And we have to see if this inversion plays out. We still held the pivot at 575, so it's not like we lost that pivot layer. And then the only pivot point we have below that is 55, and then it's grand scale collapse if we lose some of these areas, because then you come back to the 2020 uptrend. But there's still so much in front of us. So much in front of us to start worrying about the negativity. Bitcoin, on the other hand, it can do something special today. It's just kind of caught between a rock and a hard place right now. It has an inverted hammer that it's trying to create. Not in the 4 hourly. It was trying to create, well, in the 4 hourly it was trying to create, but it's kind of not pulled down enough yet, ironically. But this is a reversal candle. So could it be that we came up, showed signs of weakness, and now it's reversing back out of this? Or are we going to signal that we're going to start coming back down? If at any point Bitcoin closes over 38,000 and it actually plays out truthfully, we still have a technical target out of here. And it is around 42,000, 700. It really is. That's out of the wedge, or the broadening wedge. If it were to break down, you got to come all the way back to 26. Oh, I am freezing my kahunas up. Yeah, well, you know, sometimes they got to. I don't mind the cold. It's just, you know, it's the earlier time of the season right now. So us in Michigan are not exactly as used to these mid-20 days just yet. But we will. I'll be used to it, and you'll see me out here a lot more. I do like being out here, honestly. Peter Pan, thank you so much for the $20 donation. That was incredibly generous of you. Wow. Certainly was not expecting that. Thank you so much for that. Like, that's what a cool way to pay it forward. Thank you, Peter Pan. I appreciate your continued support and your continued willingness to pay it forward. You're about one of the 0.6% of my audience who's ever sent a donation. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but think about it. 0.6% of about 19,300 plus. That's a lot of people. 1970 Legend, Go Bucks. Hey, you know, I got nothing wrong with that. I got nothing wrong with that. They may be my most hated rivalry, and it's only because it's the team that I want to be the most. Yeah, you heard that right. Now we're starting to be Ohio State. Because they always had the run-pass quarterback. They always had a phenomenal defense, and they could win big games. And now Michigan finally got the run-pass quarterback, the dual threat. We've got the athletes now, just like Ohio State used to when we opened up the bank. That's all I ever wanted them to do. Ohio State was willing to do it. Michigan was being a bunch of pansies. Now they're actually willing to do it. Now we can have some competition. So I got no problem with Ohio State forcing it down Michigan's throat for them to actually innovate something outside of themselves, unless they wanted to be a bunch of losers for the rest of my life. It's only been since 97, you know. I didn't think I was going to be pushing 40 the next time we even had a chance to win a national championship. But anyhow, that's the other thing over there. So, that's Bitcoin. Somebody asked about Dogechain. I remember the other night you asked as well. And I said I'd look at it once we got on to, I guess we could look at it. I mean, if I'm even looking at the right one, no, Iowa's going to have a problem. I love Iowa, though. I wish there was one year it wouldn't be Michigan, and we just kind of, when we weren't there, that they could have won, mainly that year against Michigan State, because that was their one real chance. Fortunately, they screwed that one up. I mean, if you're saying it's going crazy, I mean, I don't know if I'd say it's going crazy. It's typical consolidation. Right now, it's trying to put in a golden cross. It certainly is. Oops. It certainly is in the daily time frame. It's trying to put in a golden cross, which could be the signal for a true reversal here, which would be nice. If it actually gets a signal. Oops. I didn't line up the bottom yet because I didn't have that up. So it's something, that's what you're in right now. You've got to come outside this. You have to come outside this. And right now we're trying to attempt a golden cross, but it got rejected first layer so far. We need to get back on top of that and break out of this. If we break outside of this, you've got a massive, probably rally coming. That's a big descending formation. So, it breaks up out of here, you're probably going to double. If you broke out of 0008, you're probably going up to 0014 to 16. That's a pretty big move. If it does break out of this, there's no guarantee it does, but let's just say you get to the top side and use this as a support. That's like 100% move. It really would. It would come up there. It's been in that for quite some time. And in relation to this kind of a pattern, look how far down how much it's lost. If it falls out of this, this coin's going to the tank. So you understand it more than I do. Is that coin going to the tank, or does it have some life in it? I don't know. You're welcome, my friend. You're welcome. Anything for you, Mr. Extra Sour Cream Taco Supreme. XDC down 2.61%. We're still well within this extended pattern. We need to get outside of this. We formed the exact same structure we were in. That allowed us to burst out. So now as long as we hold the descending structure, and we don't lose the 200-day in the daily, which we're coming very, very close. You can see this downtrending support that we have to hold. But if, again, it's the same thing as before. We were in these falling channels. We got a nice bullish reversal out of it. It can be the same thing right now. It's just we have a bearish cross, so we're going to have to start moving around. You know, we have to start moving out of this area. Otherwise, it can fall bearish more quickly than most would actually think. Especially because you've completed that death cross, and it's almost lined up now. It's either going to be another, I call them liquidity grabs. It's either going to be a liquidity grab way down here at like 464, which technically wouldn't technically kill you. But what it's done is it puts you inside of the firm pattern like we talked about. Like, what it did, and I never put these up until, you know, it becomes relevant. But what we did, I mean, you can even start extending it now. Look at this. You've actually created a much wider pattern with that quick wick. I told you the patterns are here for a reason. We can focus on the short term, but look what happens when you take it into a grand scale, like the grand pattern. That's what you're looking at with XDC. So is XDC going to break out? Well, let's get on top of that 575. You know, and start breaking out of here. This is what happens. This is what happens. And for everybody who always throws around, hey, Tom, you know, I know you can do this quick and can you go from one thing to the next to the next? I do it because I love each and every one of you. But at the same time, if you're not at least hitting that like button, please do that. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I would have so appreciate you do, because I think we do something that is special here. I think we have a good, open, and honest back and forth. I think we cover a lot of things, and not just crypto. Not just crypto. If you're a fan of precious metals, if you've been on top of it like we have, we're in a very, very audacious spot right now. Not just in crypto, but in precious metals. Look at algo. Remember when I talked about algo? We wanted to buy it in the descending structure. We got 7,800 plus tokens. I didn't quite get 10,000, just over 7,800, but I'm very proud of that. And I said I'm not buying it once it breaks out over here, because what's going to happen, it's going to quickly, and it's going to eventually have to push up to there. It's eventually, whether it's a quick wick or not, we're coming up there at some point if this is that true reversal. And right now, it's all about if we get on top of this 13 cents on this golden cross. If we do, you've got a nice catalyst out to about 18 cents at minimum. So it's gonna be interesting. You picked up 7K, awesome. So I hope that helps with algo. Algo definitely is undervalued. I loved it under 10 cents. I'll be honest, where we were buying it. I know we bought a little bit over 10, but most of it was under 10. Some of it was under 9. So we did a very good job. And we waited for this rotational tug. Miss Vicky, welcome in, love. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm glad you got to get in here, even though I started a little bit earlier. I got an obligation at 7. We have something at the kids' school. Yeah, you know how it goes. But anyhow, I still wanted to come on, and I think we've been on 20 minutes. I had to come outside because they're doing stuff inside, getting ready and stuff, so I didn't want to bother everybody because they're all going around the house. Plus, I don't want to show everybody because they don't want to be on camera. Everybody's like, you don't know what it's like, you're famous. I'm like, famous? I don't know if you'd quite call me famous. You know, but I appreciate that sentiment, but I'm certainly not famous. Then they say, oh, well, you have 19,000 plus subscribers. I'm like, that is true. That is true, but I don't think it makes me famous. I just think it makes me feel more appreciated, that's all. XLM, again, just like XRP, we can go either one of two ways. If this does break out, and it sucks because these become overdrawn out, and honestly, they're so hard to read after a while. All we need to know right now is we're in a bad spot. Unless we get back on top side of here, we're on the negative side of town. We need to be on the positive side of town. You want to be above 12 cents and start breaking out instead of breaking down from 12 cents. If you break down from 12 cents, you come down to 8.7. If you break up from here, you can go to 15.1. Either way, that technical move has to happen. Whether it's breaking down or breaking up, it has to happen. Thank you, Miss Vicky. I appreciate that. But it has to happen. Either one way or the other. It has to break up or break down. There's no in-between here. And it has to do that technical move. I prefer for it to have a nice end-of-year technical rally out to 15.1. We got some work ahead of us. Mainly because we can't have that Deathcross confirmed. If we fail at the 200-day here, we're confirming the Deathcross, and then we know, without a doubt, we're coming back not even down to there. We're probably going to have a huge breakdown. But if we confirm this at where we're at right now, around this 11.9 area, and we break down, goodbye. Right now, it's a big consolidation. I still think it's got a good shot to break up. It's just, we don't know what they have planned for crypto. We don't know. So, That's what I got, though, everybody. That's really what I wanted to talk about. I do appreciate everybody. I don't think I'm going to leave just yet, but I do appreciate everybody who takes the time to watch this. Really, it does mean a lot to me. I'm gonna go make sure they're okay. I'll be right back. It's gonna be about less than 60 seconds. Okay. Sorry about that. They're back. Let's see. I know. Where is Ghost? She walked. Ghost. Come here. Why are you outside? It's so cold. Come here. Come here. Where are you going? It's cold. She is out here. She likes to go outside. I can't help it. Of course, she comes inside a lot now because it's cold, but she just enjoys it outside. Nothing wrong with that. She just likes it. But yeah, see what else there. I want to see what else there is in the news real quick with XRP. Let's see if there's anything we missed with Ripple, with XRP. We know about the MasterCard stuff, so hopefully some of that stuff happens and it actually gets integrated in a fine way. XRP price coils up for a move north as Ripple director advocates for investments. Ooh, let's see this. Although it's FX Street, so you gotta just take that into consideration. Big FUD headlines that come out of this place, but it's still good to see what the national narrative is. XRP price eyes a 10% climb as Ripple lawyer John Deaton raises concern over U.S. dollar losing its dominance. Oh, John Deaton raised concerns, huh? Pretty sure I've been raising concerns for the better part of, we don't know, 70. Ripple price has regained its bullish momentum, with the RSI hinting at a pullback after a 2-day nosedive. XRP could climb 10% to test the supply zone, extending from 6582 to 7186, confirming the uptrend above 6857. Invalidation of the bullish thesis will occur after the payment token's market value breaks and closes below the 50-day simple moving average at 5852. Ripple XRP lawyer Johnny Deaton has raised concern over the U.S. dollar USD losing its dominance. His comments come after the UAE officially stopped using dollar for oil trades in favor of local currency. Can anybody see the FUD part of that entire sentence? I'll let you tell me. Ripple lawyer concerned about waning USD dominance. It comes as the world over edges towards de-dollarization, with BRICS at the forefront of the campaign. Notably, the UAE enlisted into the economic alliance only recently. It marks a strategic departure. I appreciate that, Louville, and thank you so much for being in Tom's Army for over a year. Over a year with that I told you so bad. It marks a strategic departure from the dollar dominance that has been long established, with the potential to significantly affect the dominance of the U.S. dollar within the global oil market. Deaton speculates that this could be a trend, posing rhetoric that crypto or stable coins could play a role moving forward. Will this be a trend? Is the U.S. dollar losing its dominance? Will crypto and or stable coins play a role moving forward? Asked Johnny Deaton. Digital Assets Daily says UAE officially stops using dollar for oil trades. Cryptopolitan.com/UAE. So the UAE officially stops using dollar for oil trades. That's just, we're getting closer to January. So Ripple price inches higher, eyes a 10% climb as momentum resumes. Ripple XRP price is sitting on the 0.5981 support level, with the 50-day simple moving average providing, and after this I'm going to go. So I do thank everybody who's tuned in. I really do. Please make sure to hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate you, all of you. Hello, time I want to buy more XRP. I'm waiting for the best time to buy. Well, that is going to be an interesting... I still think the most opportune time is to try to stick around that 2020 uptrend. But we may never get back down there. But that is definitely where... that's definitely where and that's where I've been buying towards. Sean Crothers, welcome in. I hope you're having a blessed evening over there in Maine, my friend. Good evening, CJ2 Pilot. Welcome in. So, increased buying pressure sprouting from the 50-day simple moving average and the 5981 buying congestion level could set the tone for Ripple price to foray into the supply zone extending from 6582 to 7186. To confirm the continuation of the advance, the price must record a daily candlestick close above the midline of this order block above 6857. In a highly bullish case, Ripple price could break out of the supply barrier as it heads to 80 cent psychological level. The gains could even extend past 90 cents and the range high at 94.08 before testing the much desirable $1 psychological level last tested on December 23rd, 2021. So it's almost been 2 years since we've even come to the $1 level. Such a move could constitute a 65% climb from the current levels. The relative strength index RSI has deflected from its initial southbound move in a noticeable attempt to pull north. If this trajectory sustains itself, the RSI could soon cross above the signal line yellow band, a move typically interpreted as a buy signal. On the flip side, increased seller momentum could see Ripple price lose the critical support level offered by the horizontal line at 5981 and the 50-day simple moving average at 5852, thereby invalidating the bullish thesis. A prolonged slump could send Ripple price to 200-day and 100-day EMAs at 5531 and 5480. CJ2 Pilot, never. I love doing this. It's never working too hard. Could send Ripple, it is a lot of work, but it's never too much. Could send Ripple price to the 200-day and 100-day exponential moving averages at 5531 and 5480 respectively. If those levels break, XRP price could fall back into consolidation phase between 47.43 and 53.92. Please hit that like button, everybody. I appreciate you tuning in. If you do appreciate my work, consider subscribing to Tom's Army. Pay it forward for the fact that I don't charge for any of my information. And you don't have to pay for any kind of classes or to get my trading rundown when I actually buy assets or metals and things like that. So appreciate all of you. Diamond, welcome in, and thanks for being in month 1 of Tom's Army. I appreciate you. Again, everybody, thank you so much. Thank you, Zam. Have a good night, everybody. Stay blessed, and I'm going to go inside